Hey everyone, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping. And I want to ask you, do you think you can escape from the coming food shortages, the starvation that's going to hit the whole world? And a lot of people think it can't happen here. And even some preppers are saying, I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think. Because the stores are pretty well stocked up. Um, there really aren't that many empty shelves yet. There are a few, but you can get what you want. I want you to think again. Let me give you a different scenario. You're familiar with the southern border of the US and all the illegals that are coming. Think what's going to happen when Europe is starving, when Africa is starving, when South America is starving. These people are going to start coming to the US. And if you think you've seen illegal immigration, you haven't seen anything yet until this happens. Okay, let's go over here to michaelyon.com. Michael Yon, Y-O-N. 2023 to 2024 will be hell on earth. He wrote this in April 27th of this year. And he's a journalist, a correspondent that travels all over the world. So he says, this has been an obvious train wreck for a very long time. Famines generally come in slow motion. The most incredible, though, pan-fa war in human history is unfolding. My estimate, this will not be a 2-year famine. Most famines go on for roughly 2 years. The Great Pan-fa War is shaping up to be a long hauler. Sometime in 2022, the famines will become obvious. By the end of 2023, colossal. These will create enormous, he calls it HOP, human osmotic pressure to migrate. And where are they going to migrate to? The United States. And he calls it the occupying government of the United States. And what they're doing, what we're doing is we're expanding this Darien pipeline through the Darien Gap, which can and likely will facilitate millions of Asians, Africans, and South Americans into the United States. And they said Europe did the similar thing, and now they're suffering for it greatly. While our economy and food supply collapses, the U.S. has opened the floodgates to anyone. And we know that by just looking at the southern border. Many of these people come from highly predatory cultures. I've lived around the world, spent more than half my life in 80 other countries. Some of these cultures are highly predatory. I see many representatives of these cultures flooding into our country. They will be hungry on our streets, and many will rape our women and boys. These are just facts. I see it all the time downrange. You cannot run far enough away from this. We will fight or we will lose. Those will be our choices. So he's saying that we're going to have all of these illegals coming into our country who are going to be starving, who will want food and will do anything to get food. They're going to steal and rape and kill just to get food. And if you just look over here in America First report, August food inflation jumped by 11.4%, but experts warn the worst is yet to come. So we're seeing problems with the food supply here. And if we look at NBCnews.com, number of migrants crossing border hits another record, with surges in migration by nationalities once rarely seen. The number of countries like India, Turkey, and Russia is up. So we're seeing more and more immigrants, or they're calling them migrants, but they're illegals, coming from countries they've never come from before. And if you look at this is agweb.com. After USDA's surprising September yield cuts, history hints at more yield changes in October. And they say soybean yields have gone down and corn yields have gone down in the U.S. So it's just more things that are showing that the U.S. is having problems with the food supply. So what's going to happen is this. we probably will have a lot of food, a surplus of food maybe even, but there are going to be so many illegals flooding our borders. They're going to come in and they're going to consume whatever surplus we have. And there's going to be food rioting and violence. We know fertilizer's not being produced. We know there's shortages. We know there's droughts. And we know that other countries are basically stocking up on food and our country isn't. And these people coming across that gap will be people that have never come before, and they're desperate, and they're going to be coming. And he mentioned that, as the economies collapse in these other countries and the food pressure increases, you're going to see Africa, Asia, and parts of Europe and South America going through that Darien Gap. And it's going to be like a pipeline right into the United States. We're going to be completely invaded. So we might have food here, but we've got unemployment coming, we've got hyperinflation. People just aren't going to have enough money to buy food. Our energy prices probably aren't going to go up as much as Europe, but they're going to be going up. So people are going to be hungry. We're going to have all of these illegals in here trying to get food also. So hungry people are going to do whatever they can to feed themselves and their families. They're going to rob the stores, the warehouses, the trucks, the ships, the trains. They're going to rob families. They're going to go out and rob the farmers if they can. So it's going to be a disaster in the United States. So for those people who don't think so, think about this. Think, could it happen? If you think there's even the slightest chance that this can happen, you better start prepping now while you can, because starvation will and is coming to the United States. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.